How does that help in sanitizing, the process?
Okay. Maybe before then, let me just say a few words about the operationalizing the regulations and looking at the disparity between the theory and the practice. For every one organ transplant that succeeds in a center like mine, about 8 have been disqualified. And they are disqualified based on either incompatibility in terms of the blood type, or maybe because when we interview, because we have an ethic committee. As the medical director, I take ultimate responsibility for what happens in the hospital. Many times, a night before the surgery is cancelled. Why? Because the psychiatrist reviews the patient and he finds that the patient is moody. What's happening? So we begin to dig and we discover that, the benefactor of the donor is the one that is sick. And she's being muzzled, kind of, because I'm the one that have been paying your bills after all. I train your children.
Okay.
So why are you not willing to donate for me? When we find that out, we cancel the case immediately. Sometimes, when we discover that money is about to exchange hands or has exchanged hands, we cancel the cases. But you cannot, that cannot be watertight. Like you said before, transactions happen behind the hospital, and the recipient presents the donor like, this is my niece or my nephew, and he's willing to donate. And the potential donor goes to court, swear to an affidavit that no money is exchanging hands, only for us to find out.
Money in the bank.
Only for us to find out later that money actually indeed exchange hands. You can't rule that out, especially when the potential donor is desperate and poverty is driving this. So we do our best to ensure that those things don't pass through, but you never can. It's just like if you go to the Nigerian Immigration Service, people go to court to swear an affidavit. You see a 26 years old footballer, he will swear in the court that he's 18. With that 18 years affidavit, he is going to the embassy, to the Nigerian Immigration Service, and he's getting a passport that says that he's 18 years old, because he knows that that age gives him an advantage in terms of the possibility of him signing a club in outside of the country. What happens in that arena happens everywhere, and it also happens in the transplant space. But with this, it will improve the vigilance. But I don't know how it can completely be eradicated. It's a problem that is fueled by poverty. But where we see it, we nip it in the bud and we disqualify such patients. Then concerning the registry, this is what happens abroad. There are some of the patients that fly in to have their organ transplants in Nigeria is because of waiting time. Sometimes 3 years they are still waiting, and no compatible potential donor is popping up. So, but in those advanced countries where this registry is well organized, potential donors signify their interest and they put them in the waiting list. So, and then those who are waiting for organ to receive organs are also on the waiting list. When they pop up and there's a match, they call them to say, okay, you have a donor.
In other words, you don't have to know your donor.
You don't have to.
You don't have
as
to.
long as they are compatible. So there's a system arranges that. But it's also, relatives are also encouraged. If what we do, we tell our recipients, those who have need for organs, go talk to members of your family. If there's any, because the chances of compatibility is higher amongst family members. If that works out, fine. But the organ registry would now become like a backstopper for the general public, and people can go there for those who need organ and those who are willing to donate. But it will require a lot of sensitization. for people to do that willingly and without any financial
Inducement.
motivation.
You